The greatest challenge is getting carbon out of the atmosphere and into a product we can use.
And in the end, it's a biological solution we look for, not an engineering solution.
These gullies that we see here are the main source of sediment to stream to rivers and to the coast in southeastern Australia.
And it's the first national landcare project with NSF in Australia, and we hope there'll be some more in the future.
I'm Tony Coote, Mulloon Creek Natural Farms. We have two farms occupying parts of this Mulloon Creek Valley, east of Canberra, near Bungendore. We've farmed here since 1968. For many years I've been concerned about the health of the land and the fact that so much of it was destroyed for all sorts of good intentions many years ago. And as beautiful as this place is, we have a deeply incised creek that runs through the farm for several kilometres.
Ever since ABC ran the Australian Story, it generated an unprecedented amount of interest in rural communities and landowners. The Southern Rivers Catchment Management Authority had a lot of inquiries from farmers and rural people in our catchment areas about natural sequence farming and how can it be applied in our area.
When I met Peter Andrews and saw the work that he had done on Baramul and then went to Tarwyn Park, and I could see that it was just so clear, and as it is to most farmers who work with Peter, it is so clear that this is the way if we ever are going to rehabilitate our river systems, this is the only method we have available to be able to do it properly. So it was really through meeting Peter, and I could see the genius that this man has in doing this, that we've went ahead with this.
I've been kind of put in, a couple of big rocks just up on this ledge here, at the back of this there, and then build this wall across like that and fill it all back with just sediment right out of the bed, so that you end up having this filled. This is the wall that's going to carry the pressure.
what we looked at here was this little delta. It was a recently eroded gully, so it was just rocks spreading down. We just put a row of rocks across to create a step, and this is really mostly designed for flood events to keep the energy of the water at in a particular range. But immediately you do something like this, you set off this step, and so what was gravel, like in the upstream, becomes sediment and grass below. It's as quick as the next flood. I mean, you can do it, and if you're, as I said earlier, if you was a good gardener, you could, and you knew how to distribute the different types of plants, because as this extends, you'll get wetland plants growing this side and grass plants growing on the downside. And as soon as you know how to replace that, it's as quick as you just laying them in place.
And the planting, by the way, is so critical to the whole issue, because the physical structures are only there to get the system started and to hold things until the vegetation gets established. Then it does the job. And in the end, it's a biological solution we look for, not an engineering solution. That's another paradigm shift. See? Our local Southern Rivers Catchment Management Authority here in New South Wales, there are some very wise people in the management and on the board of that CMA who could also see that this needed to be demonstrated somewhere, because people can only see from a demonstration, not by just seeing the theory. So we put together the first in Australia cooperative arrangement as a model that can be taken forward, that others can use. And so this model is with the CMA representing the state government regulators, funded by the federal government, working with the Land Care Council of this area, and we had all of the land care groups meet together, and everybody put their hand up unanimously to say, let's go ahead with this demonstration. So that's the land care is representing the farmers and the community. And then the individual landholder, which in this case was me.
I think Tony's commitment to this project epitomises rural New South Wales and rural landowners right across our landscape that are seeing this program as being something they want to be involved with. In all my years as a natural resource manager, which are now up to about 35 years, I haven't seen farmer involvement in natural resource management to the degree that they are with NSF. So Tony epitomises that passion, and his commitment to this project is quite significant as a partner.
And so we've got now, we've got a model of cooperation between the landholder, who is the steward of the land after all, and that's what the farmers are, the stewards of the land. They're the ones who really have the effect. The land care network throughout the region, which represents all the neighbours and the community. The Catchment Management Authority representing the regulatory body, and the federal government through the funding. Now, what better cooperation can you have in that? And then there's the scientific community, of course, that comes in to do the research, to do the measuring, and to take it on further.
There are two things that science has never really done properly, is analysed landscape hydrology so that everybody could understand it simply. And that means we could never understand biodiversity, because it's the linkage of plants and the relationships between them that is biodiversity in the plant world. You know, it suggests, if biodiversity is important, that each plant is helping the other one in some way. And the only way they can be linked is by the movement of water, and a certain amount in atmosphere, but mostly it's water. And we just haven't planned it. We haven't understood it, and we don't set up a landscape relative to those components.
Since we've put in the NSF works in this stream, which stretches some 5 kilometres, the stream flow has been maintained over 12 and 18 months at a time. And at the moment, right in the middle of winter, with hardly any rain over the last few months, there's still a base flow of 2 megalitres per day flowing out the bottom of this system. 2 megalitres equates to 2 full Olympic-sized swimming pools of water flowing through the river every day. So in doing this work, it's actually re-established this stream to be a perennial stream, not an ephemeral stream, where permanent water flows through this stream, whereas before the works it didn't. So that's been quite a major achievement of the project, and it's one of the principles of NSF in implementing stream rehabilitation in landscapes like this.
Think of the amount of more water that used to be here that isn't here now, because we have a drainage system that drains it out to sea. And it is so simple to fix. I mean, here in a few kilometres of creek, we put in a few leaky weirs and a few structures and have changed the whole system. It took 2 weeks of work. It changed at the first rainfall, and a small rainfall. It's now a chain of ponds. There's moisture underneath all the floodplain, not far below, so that the plants can access it. And the cost of it was less than the cost of buying a new tractor. And the water's being purified. Now, how simple is that? That's all we have to do. And it is so quick.